Last planner in construction, pull planning mistakes to avoid, stop doing it wrong. That's a hard thing to say, and I don't mean to be offensive. I'm saying that you're an A+ builder, but from a system perspective and an educational perspective, people are teaching pull planning wrong. I just want you to know there is a right way, and in the description below, I'll give you an example of a real pull plan doing it the right way. I'm going to go through the key things right now to help you, and we also have a book. It should be out by the time of this video. If not, it'll be February, March 2026, and it's called Pull Planning for Builders, and it will go through this step by step. And if you actually want it faster, it's in the book Tack Planning right now. But the bottom line is this is what the industry typically does wrong with pull planning. They will say that you should go from a CPM schedule, and inside the CPM schedule, you should pick up intermediate milestones. That's the first thing that's wrong. You take that milestone and then you pull plan to it, and lean professionals will actually, they'll say go backwards, which is the hardest way to do it. You can go forward or backwards as long as you go in the opposite direction to check. They'll do the pull plan, but they'll do it just for one area, which means that it will be a large batch and you'll waste weeks and months this way. And then they will say, take this pull plan and loop it back into the CPM. In that way, it gets lost and your CPM becomes a level 4, verging on a level 5, and now it's unmanageable. Then what will happen is because it's lost in here, the scheduling team will typically say, your look ahead and your weekly work plan, go ahead and create those from scratch and then use those, you're going to love this, and have those educate the CPM so that the CPM can then export your new weekly work plan that's given to the trades. Okay, let me talk about this. I think you're going to love the argument here. First of all, because a CPM schedule doesn't have diagonal trade flow and it's not planned with buffers and it doesn't have a path of critical flow, your milestones will not be correct. Second, if you pull plan just one large area, you've wasted weeks or months, and that's called large batch. That's a mathematical scientific certainty. Doing the look ahead and weekly work plan from scratch and looping them into an unmanageable level 4, level 5 CPM is not even the way CPM was designed to be. This is going to get you in trouble and you're going to hobble the workforce. Then exporting a schedule that people do not see, use, or understand or implement is a waste of time, and we're disrespecting the trades. This is not the way to pull plan. I am going to be very, very specific about how to do this the right way. First of all, when you do pull planning the right way, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, I learned this from other people, so I'm not special, the concept is special. When you do your pull planning the right way, your macro level tack plan will have diagonal trade flow. That means it will be planned where you have trade flow and buffers. And we have a calculator for it, actually. So you know your milestones are correct. Then when you pull this milestone down, you have vertical alignment. And when you take this sequence and pull plan it, you use the right zone size. And then what happens is you will be able to create an optimized phase that has buffers at the end, and this will incline without hurting the trade's durations. And I want to show you something. Now you have vertically aligned milestone buffers and you still have that diagonal trade flow. What you do here is when you do your pull plan, you first talk to the trades and you say, hey, in this area, how do we want to break up the zones? And there's a calculator which we'll link you to in the description below that helps you to know how many you should have. Then you program these, the size of them, by work density. And then what you do is you pull plan a single zone. So let me go ahead and just do this in a simple format. Let's say this is your pull plan. I'll just do 4 stickies. And then what you do is you say, hey, since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones, then I'm just going to do this with a single line. You start comparing that single pull plan sequence together to make sure you have diagonal trade flow. And then you also compare it to your milestone and your buffers. So let me just make sure I'm covering that well. You should never see an individual pull plan. You should see it, unless you're just doing one small area, you should see that pull plan going from zone to zone to zone so you have trade flow. You should be able to gain buffers at the end because you're optimizing, and you should be vertically aligned to your milestone. And so that is the key. And here's the thing. In the tack production system, you have a correct milestone. When you do your pull planning, you will gain time. You will not large batch. So that means you are doing it by zone. You will maintain trade flow, and you will make sure that you have buffers. This is the right way to do a pull plan. And this is the wrong way. So let me just highlight this. If you're like, J Money, you talked about a lot of stuff. Don't use CPM milestones. Don't pull plan large batch areas. Don't recreate the look ahead and weekly work plan. Do use tact milestones. Do pull plan according to the right zone size just by zone. Do compare your pull plan sequences zone to zone to zone. And do gain buffers. This is very clearly articulated in the book Tact Planning and the 10 improvements to the last planner system, and it will be shown in the book Pull Planning for Builders. There is a wrong way and there is a right way. If you're like, I don't get it quite yet, watch the video, please, that I'm going to link in the description below. You'll get it right away. But you need a system that matches your A+ score, because if you take A+ person with C- system, you're going to get a C- grade. We need A+ plus A+, and that will give you the results. I'll also turn this into a blog post. I hope you've loved this video. On we go.